All right. You ready? Yeah, you gonna come sit? Oh, thank you. You gotta sit though. Yeah. You have to sit. You're facing the wrong way. Do you wanna sit on my lap? Not really. Just wanna lick your hands. Corgi Podcast. We are a Crafty Puppy podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut. I'm your host, Gabby, and we are joined today by both Audrey and Iron. Yes, but on the floor because it is very windy out, and therefore Audrey is a little bit nervous, so we're just going to sit on the floor with her because we're puppy parents. You can find me everywhere online as Gabigales and all my hand-dyed yarn at Once Upon a Corgi and onceuponacorgi.com. Thank you so much to all returning viewers for coming back, and hello and welcome to all new viewers. Thank you so much for checking us out. Oh, hello. Oh, thank you. There's Audrey. There she is. I don't think we have any administrative podcasty stuff to get into, but we have a couple shoppy related news bits. The first one is that Friday, April 6th, I am releasing my first ever sock pattern, and I have them here covered in dog hair. And these are the Rules socks, which were inspired by Rules restaurant in London when we went last March for my birthday / vacation. So there they are, and they will be going live on Friday, and I am so excited to publish my first ever sock pattern. They are on the colorway Let's Just Run Away on my iron base, which there's a couple in the shop, but my distributor is still out of stock, so I'm hoping I can get that in within the next couple weeks to restock for you guys. We are going to be hosting a cal for those. I think I'm going to start that on Monday, April 9th, so I will open the thread for that in the Ravelry group for a chatter thread and an FO thread, and I think I'm just going to have it go for a month long because it is a pair of socks, so even with having other things, they should not take you too long to knit up. So that'll be our first cal of the year, and we'll have a prize with it. I have to go through my prize stuff, but other than that, we're going to stop on giveaways for a little bit just because they got a little bit too much to handle for a second, so we're just gonna pause on the rest of those. Thank you, Audrey. And I think that's it. The bangs are doing weird stuff again, so nothing new there. I know. And with that, let's get into the what have we been working on. No finished objects this week. We did try very hard to get one, but we did not make it. So let's start off with that guy. And that is the Zweig sweater by Caitlin Hunter. We are knitting this out of our hand-dyed yarn, Once Upon a Corgi, in the colorways La Dame Death and Oswald Vermeer. And here we are. I don't know the last time I showed you, but thank you, Audrey. We have one sleeve done, and we are about halfway done with the second sleeve. So we are probably going to work on this tonight. Yes, I am. And try and get that pretty close to finished. I do want it done for Connecticut Sheep and Wool at the end of the month, but I think we are in a really good shape to have that done. And she will, I guess it's a girl sweater. It will go on Barnaby, my mannequin, which is currently housing my French gown for Connecticut Sheep and Wool. And this is on the Marie Cutie base, which is a Corriedale nylon blend. And I'm just loving how these colors are playing together. That is Iron with his tennis ball. That giant thud. That was basically him slamming his face into the wall trying to play. And it is living in my Matteroo bag, which fits it beautifully. And I'm knitting it on size 6, US 6 needles. They are DBNs. I wish I had 9-inch circulars for the sleeves, but unfortunately I only have them in 3s and 4s. So we are dealing with the DBNs, but it's not that bad. Just would have been a little bit quicker if I had them. Do you want to show your ball? Come here. Can I see? This is the tennis ball for this week. Our other project is also a sweater. Surprise! This is the Michelada from Pom Pom. Last time you saw this, it was a wee nugget, and now we are a couple repeats in. Yay! So we are about 16 rows / 1 repeat, one of these repeats away from the sleeve bits. So I think what we're gonna do is add one more of these repeats in and then add the sleeve bits, because it will be a cropped, actually we're gonna measure it and then we're gonna look, because I think with blocking, even if we don't aggressively block it, we're gonna get a lot of growth out of this. So I don't want it to be cropped, but I do want it to be slightly cropped. I think that's what I want. I also have to figure out if I need to buy more yarn, because the pattern calls for 3 skeins and I have 2. So we will see. And that is living in this Harry Potter bag that I got in a bag swap. This was my TV knitting, but I switched all of my knitting onto the Zweig, or most of my knitting onto the Zweig for now, so I can get that finished. But after I finish that, this will be my knitting before bed TV knitting. Are you happy over there? A little weirdo? We can get her in view. There she is. So happy. Byron, what are you doing? He's trying to shove his tennis ball underneath the skirt of my gown. The other thing that I worked on a little bit this week, unfortunately, was not the buds and branches pullover. I'm not gonna pull that out again until after I finish the Zweig, but I'm still in the arm decreases. We went to a game night over the weekend with, they're mostly Jake's friends. By mostly, I mean like I'm friends with them now because we're dating / engaged, but they're Jake's friends. They do a lot of like board game nights and like groups of people game nights, so we went to that, and I brought out this guy. So it's just a plain vanilla sock, and oh, there's my notions pouch. The yarn I'm using, somebody sent to me, which was super kind of them, and it is On Light Super Sock, and the colorway is Milano. It's a German yarn. Nope, it's Italian. Just kidding. It's an Italian, it's made in Italy, but everything's in German. It doesn't look like Italian to me. Yeah, so somebody sent me 2 balls of this yarn, and my friend Carolyn asked me to teach her how to knit socks because she really wants to knit socks. So I had this ball, then I had the same yarn but in orange. So I cast on a sock on DPNs and a sock on Magic Loop, and had her try her hand at both of them, and she decided she liked Magic Loop, so now I'm knitting this one. I put in the Fish Lips Kiss Heel on the way up to game night, and then I knit this much at game night. I'm using 2.5 millimeter DPN carbons. I keep flipping this around, I don't know why. I haven't shown a sock in a while. And it's going, it looks pretty big, but it does fit my foot. I feel like they're gonna be really good boot socks / I'm gonna have Jake try them on, because if they fit him, then these are gonna be really good Jake socks. I should have him try those on sooner rather than later, because we do not have the same length feet. Yeah, it's a very sturdy woolly wool. I want to say that it's pretty similar to like an Opal or a Regia. I've never actually knit with either of those, but I believe I have 1 ball of each up here. So yeah, they're going. nothing too exciting. I did a 2x2 rib, just plain vanilla sock. It's the only vanilla sock I have on the needles. I haven't cast on another pair for Jake yet. I just haven't really been feeling the sock mojo. I only had that one out of necessity, so I didn't have nothing to knit on, slash trying to like work on a cable sweater while hanging out with friends. Okay, the last project I have been working on is the Helen Stewart Impressionist Mystery Knit Along. So if you don't want any spoilers, I will put a timestamp here of when you can come back. So skip ahead to then. So I cast on Saturday morning, bright and early at Knit Group, which worked out way better than I thought it would. I am using, and I'm almost done with the burst clue. I think I have like 15, no, I've got more, like 30 rows. I'm on like row 79. I think there's like 93. So here we are. I am using Mauve-tone as my color A and Rose Gold as my color B. And I'm using it on my Oliver's single ply base. And I am loving it so much. It's really contrasting on the camera, but it's so subtle, but perfect in real life. And it's just such a good, mindless go shawl right now. If you're just closing your eyes, I'm going to try not to ruin anything. It's very easy to pick up and put down. I'm not feeling stressed about, how much I need to finish by Saturday. And she said that this is the longest section out of all 4 of them. So that makes me so excited to see what's going to happen next. I'm trying to weave in my ends as I go. I just have a couple left to do. And I'm doing them on the recommended needle size. So there it is again. We've got a pretty good guess on the shape of it. So I'm excited to see what else she does. I've always wanted to do a mystery knit along. This is my first one. And Stephen West, although he does have beautiful patterns, I'm just never totally sure what he's gonna do because it's Stephen West. So I feel like I know Helen Stewart, I know I love her patterns, and you can't go wrong. So I'm very excited. Okay, the shawl is put away. If you were just listening, you may come back. It is safe now. The last things that we have been working on are not knitting, but sewing. As you may know, if you're a returning viewer, I got the Gertie sewing books for my birthday, and I went stash diving a little bit, just a smidge. The trunk's still open, there's fabric everywhere. So I am using Gertie's new book for better sewing, and I am doing the A. Can I just show you? This is what my mom wrapped one of the books in, and I love it so much. We're thinking it's my grandmother's wrapping paper, but she just found it in the house. We don't know where it came from, but it's so pretty. My plan is to get a picture frame and hang it. I think I'm just, maybe I'll just get like one of those panoramic picture frames and frame the middle one. But I just really want to frame it. It's just so pretty. Kind of want to dye yarn after it. That'd be so cute. Yep, I'm gonna do that. That's what we're gonna do tomorrow. So this was my bookmark because I don't know where else to keep it without, I don't want it ruined. So we're gonna slide in here. I'm gonna forget about it. I am doing the Peter Pan blouse. There we go. Ta-da! So it's a short sleeve blouse with, it's a variation of this pattern. I don't know if it shows the buttons. Not very well. And it's got the buttons going up the back. And it's gonna have the Peter Pan collar. And I am doing it out of this knit, where's the top? There we go. This knit material that I found in my stash. So a friend of mine did a giant fabric destash and essentially just dropped a huge Joann's bag on my lap and said, here, it's yours, take it. So I did, and there were some SCA fabrics. I just sneezed. It was a mix of SCA fabrics and velvets and drape, like basically drape fabric to do the big gowns with. Actually, the French gown that is Clothing Barnaby is one of the fabrics that she gave me. And then some apparel fabrics, like some knits and silks and cottons and stuff. So this is one of them. It's just a white knit with this black, I don't even know what to call it. They look like vines, but I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a very nice, is this the front? Nope, that's a sleeve. There, nope. Oh no, it might be. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if I'm holding this up right. I think I am. Oh, I hope I am, because this is the way I wanted it to look. Yeah, it's just, you know, white and black, very simple. I do need some simple spring separates, so we will do this, and I'm hoping I can do a couple more pencil skirts or tulip skirts as well. I have to go digging through my fabric. I know I have more of that blue fabric. I believe I have some brown corduroy, and then I have some more of this fabric, which I think would make a really nice comfy knit pencil skirt. So that's that. After I finish recording this podcast, I think I'm going to sew it up. I don't have buttons yet, but that is something I can easily pick up. I don't have a button stash to pull from. That is one stash I do not have. I find that really hard to do, because I feel like buttons have to be so personal to the project. So that is my plan. I'm very excited. It does not look like a hard sew to do at all. There are some darts that I've never done before, but I'm not too worried about it. Nothing I can't handle. And that's really what we have been making. I did not write out show notes for this one. I find it way easier to record and then write the show notes, because otherwise I write down things for the show notes and then I don't talk about them. Now that we finished talking about what I've been making, I am wearing my cocoa dress from Tilly and the Buttons out of a knit poplin. It's a textured knit. I don't know if that's the right term. Okay, so we did what I'm making. I don't have anything in the what am I dreaming about knitting section, because I have a lot of projects on the needles. So I think we're just gonna get into shop update and then some life stuff. So if you're not here for either of those, thank you so much for watching. And if you are, let us continue. This means I have to go get the shop update stuff, so I'll be right back. Updates are Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at uponicorgi.etsy.com. Before we get into a shop update, we're gonna do our shop announcement thing, and that is we are moving on to our own website. We are moving off of Etsy in May, so the first shop update in May, which I want to say is May 3rd or 4th, so whatever that Thursday is, we will be moving from Etsy to onceuponicorgi.com, and I'm so excited to take this step. Etsy has been a wonderful hosting site, but we are looking forward to moving on to our own and putting more of our own aesthetic onto it instead of the Etsy shop aesthetic. I have nothing against Etsy. I'm just ready to go. Well, that is our big announcement, so keep an eye on onceuponicorgi.com. We are making some changes and we're starting to get everything ready for that now. I think we're going to do a whole revamp of the site, so if anything looks a little weird, it's probably because I hit save too fast. So heads up, and yeah, keep an eye out there for any more announcements on that. I'm very excited. We've been looking into it for a while and we decided it was probably the best move for us. So this week's shop update will be April 5th, Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our bases this week are Cecil, our 100% BFL Aran weight base, which I thought was discontinued because it disappeared off the website, and then they brought it back, and I'm so happy. So this will be one of the last updates with the Aran weight base. I'm going to dye some for Connecticut sheep and wool, and then I won't be dyeing anymore until later on in the year. I might bring some to SSK, I haven't decided yet. So on Cecil, which is our BFL Aran weight, Penny, which is our MCN, Ginger, which is our Gold Stellina, Oliver, which is our Merino single, and that's it. So on those bases, we will have, these ones just came out of the dryer like 2 hours ago. Palace of My Dreams, ta-da! Insufferably Damp, which has gone a little bit of a revamp. I wrote down some stuff, but I don't think not enough stuff since I dyed it for the club. So we tried a couple new dye techniques with it and I really like the way it turned out, but after some requests from the pop-up, after my Verdu shawl made an appearance, Dark Like My Soul, and also now it's gained up, Warm and Cozy. Ta-da! So there are sweater quantities of all of those going into the shop. We will also have a little update of our Isaac DK, which is our non-superwash Polworth silk blend, and that will be on Warm and Cozy, Narnia, Rose Gold, which is apple rose gold, but we're gonna take the apple out for like trademark things. So just rose gold now. And I will be dyeing a bunch of this up for Connecticut Sheep and Wool. So there's 5 skeins of each of these going into the shop too. So that's about a sweater's quantity of DK weight. And that's it for shop update. I really hope you guys can make it, and just thank you to everybody who continues to come back and support the shop. It means so much to me every time anyone even visits the site, never mind buys anything. Buying things are just blowing my mind. So that is it for shop update. On to life stuff, which we're gonna keep pretty short because our battery's dying, and we haven't really been doing that much. It's been a lot of work prep and trying to figure out all the details for Connecticut Sheep and Wool. We have been watching a couple new things. We started watching the Frankenstein Chronicles on Netflix, which is a Netflix original, and it has been really interesting. It's sort of, you know, got the dips, the peaks and valleys. It's with Sean Bean. I had to remember not to say like Sean Bean because that's not his name. And it's Frankenstein. So not Frankenstein. It's like a murder mystery regarding Frankenstein. It is I would say borderline gory. There are lots of detached limbs and human meat shots because of that, and dead children. So if that's not your jam, but like if that makes you really uneasy, I would stay away from it. But it's really good. Sean Beeman's still alive. I'm very proud of him. Sort of. You know, if you watch it, then you'll know. But I have dog fur in my nose. I'm on season 2 now, so we'll see how it goes. I've also been watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? The very early episodes with Clive Anderson as the host from, I think it was on the BBC, I want to say. I don't know. But I forgot how funny that show was, and I was trying to knit while like weeping, laughing. It was beautiful. What else? Oh, I started listening to a new podcast. I started listening to it about a month ago, but now that I'm deep enough into it, I feel comfortable recommending it, and it is the Forever 35 podcast. It's on iTunes / Pocket Cast or Dreamcast or whatever you use. It's 2 friends who talk about serums and self-care. It is delightful. They are hilarious, and it's very light topics, but they also dive deeper into like habits and kind of what brings us to do these kind of things. But it's all about them trying to do more self-care and being more intentional with things. Like they have their intentions for the week ahead, and they do interviews with these wonderful women, mostly authors, which I find super very uplifting to listen to. And you know, they go over things like what makeup they use, but then they also kind of go into like what their goal out of everything is. I'm explaining this terribly, but it's fantastic. And there's a Facebook group for them. So they have a Facebook group, and then they have an offshoot Facebook group that somebody made that's also about My Favorite Murder and Forever 35. So it's about murder and serums, and it's perfect. So that's really what I've been up to. It's been a very good podcast to listen to, especially while I'm trying to be more aware about when I need self-care sort of situations, like not going to Stitches because my people meter was just way too high at that point, and a lot of like physical self-care kind of thing, like not hurting myself while knitting or throwing my back out while lifting yarn and then trying to lift yarn the next day, which is what I did, and now my back still hurts. So there we go. I highly recommend it. So that's the Forever 35 podcast, and I'm going to leave you here with that because my back hurts and I'm sitting on the floor, and no bueno. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming back each week / every couple of weeks and supporting the podcast and supporting the shop. And we will see you all next week. Bye.